So welcome everyone to this session on informative session for executive program and algorithmic trading and how it can help you. The idea of today's session is to know about the nuances of this program, EPAT, as we call it, and how it can relate with you or how it can be helpful to you in the various career and learning objectives that you might have. This is Nitesh Khandelwal this side, and I will be the presenter for today. I will be taking you through all these details that we believe are important from the course perspective as well as from a learner's perspective, how we can go about that. And to start with that, I'll just go through a brief introduction of mine. So I am currently the CEO and co-founder of QuantInsti. QuantInsti has been into algorithmic and quantitative trading education for almost 8 years now, and we have seen probably served thousands and thousands of people through various channels, through various modes of learning that we have done in the past. It's one of the pioneer programs in this domain. This is a niche, very niche domain, and we are proud to say that we are the lead player on that. And we have been attempting to benefit all our users and our EPAT audience and alumni to benefit from the various activities that we do, as well as through the course primarily. This course called 6-month program called Executive Program in Algorithmic Trading, EPAT. Okay, so prior to this, so I'll just start a bit from the background where how I started this journey. So give me just 1 minute, and I will just be through with what I've done and what I've been doing. So I started off after graduating from my engineering college, and after that doing my management degree. I started off my career with a bank in India, and I was on the treasury side looking at the derivatives, structuring, and sales. And from there, I moved to a proprietary trading desk, and I was trading into various asset classes over there as the lead trader. And after that, in 2008, algorithmic trading was allowed in India, and 2009 we started off with iRage. So iRage started off as a consulting house. Four of us had started it in 2009, and we started off as a consulting house where we were giving the consulting for how to set up the algo desk or how to create different strategies, both for alpha generation as well as for execution, and served some of the top institutions in this region, in India as well as in ASEAN region. And after that, then we realized that, okay, this is something that is interesting, but we do want to move towards more on the trading side, and we wanted to trade on our own. So, which meant that to avoid any conflict of interest, we wanted to give up on the consulting piece. Now, that's where the challenge came in, and the challenge was that this was a new domain. Algorithmic trading needed different kind of skills than what were required for conventional trading. And then we realized that, all right, how about we design a module which can train people to, including our clients, the people, the team members at our clients' end, to how to take care of those things that we have created for them. And that was the genesis of this program called EPAT at that time, and it really helped us in making the smooth transition and moving more towards the trading side and taking our own membership and becoming broker ourselves and becoming one of the lead players in the HFT domain in India today. So I was leading that business earlier, and then I realized that, okay, there is something apart outside India as well, and why not we explore the other markets? And I moved to Singapore from Mumbai, and I was there for a few years, and got an opportunity to work on setting up the desks for the exchanges across the globe and various trading destinations, understand the business, understand the nuances from a global perspective, and expand the business on that side. Then in 2016, I moved back, and I realized that this is all good, but we wanted to do something more. And that's when I thought that, okay, QuantInsti is something that we have been working on, but I would like to work even more on that side. And I got more closely associated with QuantInsti as a full-time CEO for it. And since then, we have been adding a lot more. We have been trying to add a lot more value much faster to our audience, to our alumni, to our participants, and make people more aware about this domain and help them grow in this domain. So that is where I'm coming from, and I will try to cover the various aspects right from the what algorithmic trading is to what the industry trends are right now, and then we'll talk about EPAT, and also we'll talk about what are the different things that are there apart from content. Obviously we'll be talking about that, but also what are the other things that makes sure that EPAT alumni stays ahead of the rest. So we'll be starting on that. Um, so before we move ahead, I will have a simple poll, uh, which you might be seeing on your screens now. Have you traded in the past? So I have told you all about myself. I would like to know a bit about you guys. I cannot, given the great turnout. Thank you for that. Thank you for such an amazing turnout. So I cannot get to know each one of you individually, but yeah, this will help me understand if you have traded, then there is a different way to look at things. I can put things in a different perspective vis-a-vis that. So any kind of trading. So I'm not talking about any specific trading, anything. So any trading if you have done in the past. So yeah. So we'll close this poll in another 10 seconds or so. So I think the number of you have voted. So I'll be closing this poll now, and I will be sharing it with you. So good thing, and as expected, 75% of you have traded in the past, so which is a vast majority. And I believe that a lot of you might have been trading using the conventional ways. Some of you might be trading using the algorithmic trading or the quantitative trading or quant ways. So all those things might be there. So let's start with what algorithmic trading is. So interesting thing, if I ask anyone, do you know what algorithmic trading is? And almost everyone in this domain who is from this domain would say that yes, I too know what algorithmic trading is. Now the interesting part is that over here I have tried to capture these are snippets from the regulatory documents on how do different regulators define algorithmic trading. So, for example, SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, that defines it simply as any order that is generated using automated execution logic shall be known as algorithmic trading. Now, if we go to Europe, and some of you might be aware of MiFID II regulations which has come in, so it was slightly more comprehensive in definition, and also exclusions that it includes. So where a computer algorithm automatically determines individual parameters of orders, such as whether to initiate the order, the timing, price, or quantity of the order, or how to manage the order after its submission. Essentially, wherever the algorithm is helping you in generating an order or in deciding what to order, how much to order, then or when to order. So that is coming under the algorithmic trading domain. So with limited or no human intervention. But it does not include any system that is only used for the purpose of routing orders to one or more trading venues. Now, interesting thing is that if you look at the definition on Wikipedia, you will find it included, right? So there lies the difference. And then if you go to the US Association FINRA, then you will see that, okay, it will talk about more of using computer programmed with specific algorithms. So essentially systematic trading. When it is automated, they are calling it algorithmic trading. right? So different definitions in different geographies and by different regulators. So that's how interesting this domain is. So this domain is probably few decades old already, especially in the developed markets. But still, the definitions, if you see, that they differ. From our perspective, algorithmic trading is anything that is using any algorithms, any for either decision making or for execution. We try to put that into the algorithmic trading side. Okay. Now, how is it doing? How is algorithmic trading doing? So I thought that it might be an interesting idea to club algorithmic trading and compare it with DIY trends. So DIY is do-it-yourself traders. So this is essentially your self-directed population, which means that the investors or the traders who are not relying on the advice of the broker, but are making their trading decisions or investment decisions on their own. Okay. Now, algorithmic trading in Asia. So this is a snippet from Bloomberg article in which it shows that how it has grown from probably a couple of percentage points in 2004, less than 15 years back, to almost in 2014 it crossed 30% and probably touched to then in 16 probably touched around 35%. So this is for Asia. For the developed markets, it's way much higher. So algos now make up. This is 2016. So 66% of trades in US and 44% in Europe. Since then, again in 2018, that ratio has further increased. Okay, look at the self-directed population in the meantime. So this is sorry. So this one is since 2000, 2008, I believe, and the way it has grown. If you look at the top the top part of this bar chart, you'll see that's the active traders. Rest are the investors, active and traditional, but these are active traders, and you'll see that this number has also been rising pretty fast. So this is something which is very interesting. The rise of algorithmic trading has been in proportion to the number of people who are now making, or the number of traders who are now making their own trading decisions and not relying on on their brokers, right? So this is growing. Now, while this part is growing, a lot of growth in this part can be attributed to the participation by the institutions or the proprietary trading houses, and not really as much from the individual or retail traders and investors. So there was a study which was done a couple of years back, and which suggested that while the overall market, so this is an example from India, while the overall market algorithmic trading's contribution is close to 30 to 45%, the retail participation in that is estimated to be about 2%, so which is very, very minuscule. And this is so at the overall stage, the retail participation is much higher than this. It's not 2%, right? So retail does form a decent portion of the overall volumes that are traded on the exchanges in India, but not on the algo side. Why is that happening? So that is a question that we will try to answer in the next slide. But before that, there's another interesting article snippet that I took from Bloomberg. This was from October 2017, where they also mentioned about that, okay, we talked about the trading part, but how about the job market? So it mentioned about it's a big article, and you will see almost all kind of jobs which they suggested that is being under scanner of robots, and robots are coming for all these Wall Street jobs, be it credit analyst, be it trader, be it derivative analyst, or equity research guy, or the dealer, or anyone, right? So it covered a huge amount of people who different roles which are there, and for which the automation is posing a challenge, and also suggesting that all these profiles will be primarily be operated and managed by the robots in the coming future. some of them are already being operated by the robots. Now, is that a threat? Is that a risk? Is that a opportunity? Depends on how you look at it, right? So the next point that actually tries to answer why the retail participation has been low, and what are the things that you need to do to ensure that these robots are becoming an enabler for you and not really a threat for you, right? So things, if you want to go algo, so look now, putting this thing into our perspective. So our perspective here would be the the algorithmic trading or quantitative trading or automated trading, any of these segments. So what are the things that you need to know, or why? What are the reasons why people, especially the individual traders or the retail traders, have not been able to pick algo across the globe? It's not just in specific geographies. Is that algorithmic trading or quantitative trading is slightly a different kind of thing as compared to the conventional format. In the conventional format, you will look at, if you're a fundamental investor, you will be looking at the balance sheet and annual reports and different performance ratios of the company. If you're a technical trader, you will be looking at the charts, the patterns, the indicators, the waves, all those things. If you're a quantitative trader, in that case, you will actually be trying to look more closely at the data, okay, at the market data or any other data that you look at, do some statistical operations on that, and try to figure out that what's the logic, why something should be working, why any opportunity or any hypothesis that you create from the trading point of view, why that should be uh, why that should be true, right? So you use statistical and technical know-how. By technical, we mean the financial computing arm of it. So different programming languages or tools, softwares that most of the quant traders use. Okay, so statistical and technical know-how is the one of the key things which is required if you want to build your own logic, trading logic, or to program your trading strategies. Another thing that has been missing very much from the markets has been the market access. So market access would include both the access to the data, to the quality data, as well as to the markets in a most economical and efficient way through different brokers, right? So that is also another something that needs to be there. And good part is that there has been increasingly more and more number of tools which are coming in, which are giving this access um, to the individuals, both from the data point of view, or to backtest their strategies, or to create your strategies, or even to take those strategies live, right? So more and more tools are coming in which are helping the individual investors in the most economical way to backtest and implement those strategies. Another thing is practitioner guidance. So this is more from the, also coming bit from the context that we are talking about today, from the EPAT perspective. But also this is also something that if you're making it this transition, especially when you're automating, so there are a lot of different things which will be coming in, and which you need to take care of, which you would probably never bother about if you are trading manually. All right. But if you are doing automation, there are a lot of things that you need to be aware about. And most of these things becomes much more easier if you have some guidance from the practitioner or someone who has done that in the past. So when we started off as a consulting house, we had some experience. Some of us had worked in the different HFT firms in different parts of the world, and or some of us had the have worked in the similar industries. So that was really helpful in helping all those firms or in all those institutions to make that transition, because at that point of time it was very new thing, right? The same would be true for anyone who is trying to go algo or trying to automate their things. So at that point of time it becomes really important, if you have some guidance from the practitioner, then it is really helpful. Okay, now these are some of the things that we have tried to pull those things together into EPAT, and these are just some of the one-liners that we extracted from some of the past distinguished alumni who have who overcame this what we were discussing about whether it's a threat or an opportunity. So they took it as an opportunity, and they were actually able to set up their own desk or learned about different quant trading strategies or learned about the comprehensive cycle of creating strategies through the knowledge that they gained or the guidance that they acquired. And that has been, this is just a small list. There are so many different cases that we keep on seeing. So that's there. Now, this is what we have here. So this is from the EPAT. What are the different features or what are the different things that are covered under EPAT? We'll be going on in more details on each of these things, and also I'll try to take off. And we had also received few questions before the webinar as well, and I will be trying to cover that in the during the while I cover these points. Okay, so first is obviously the content. It's very rich content which has been created by the by the by the market practitioners, domain experts, globally leading practitioners who are known for their fund management skills or for their trading houses or for the ventures that they have created in the various aspects of quant research and quant trading. So that's something that is given. But now the thing is that if you get the content, so if you had done EPAT say in 2011 or 2012, the world has changed dramatically since then. The market microstructure has changed, the way things work, that has changed dramatically in all those years. And so has the curriculum, because the good part about EPAT is that it stays up to date. The curriculum is continuously evolving to make sure that it remains aligned with the requirements of the market, right? Now, the good thing is that we do give the lifelong access to the most updated content here. So it's a continuous learning which is offered through this, and a lot of other ways also, which we'll see in a short while. Then we have something which is very distinguished and highly reputed. That is a dedicated support team which works 7 days a week, and they have a strong turnaround time to make sure that all your queries are resolved within a specific within a defined period of time. And also they act as the bridge between the faculty and the students to make sure that nothing gets missed, nothing at all gets missed, and each query is taken with the utmost seriousness, and helps the EPAT participants and alumni uh, with the resolution of queries as well as the guidance, anything that they're seeking. Another thing is that it's practitioner driven. So this point is very important, because if there are a lot of ways to learn in a theoretical perspective, but when you're looking at things more from the practical perspective, more from the implementation perspective, it helps a lot if it is being delivered by someone who has actually done that in the past, right? So that really helps, and that's something which is very dear to us, and the kind of faculty members that we boast of, that really drives that point home. um, that's there. And then we also have a career cell which helps you. We call it career cell and not just a placement cell, because the reason being that it is not just about helping you in finding the job opportunities, but also helping you in, if you want to set up your own business, or if you want to set up your own trading desk, or if you want to say, if you're looking for a relevant broker or a data vendor or a collaboration or anything, funds, anything that you're looking for, that's something that is that career cell helps you with that, both to the participants as well as the alumni. And then there is a host of exclusive features that are there only for the EPATians, which covers good number of things, and we'll be covering that part as well in a bit. So first of all, let's look at the content. these are the different modules which forms this program EPAT, right? So it starts right from the primer of the options or the statistics, Excel, Python, everything, all those things are covered right in the primer module itself. So the idea of the primer module is to make sure that you have a very good understanding of all the prerequisites of the EPAT program. Okay, now the thing is that there are different people who come from different background. It's something which is pretty much there would be people who have a strong computer science background. There will be people who are coming from the purely business background. There are people who have no idea about the financial markets, but have been statisticians for 20 years, 25 years. So there are different people who will come in, and it's important that we make sure that everyone is getting enabled to extract the maximum value out of the program. And to do that, it's important that everyone comes at the bare minimum same page before the program starts. And that is why we have this primer module, which is quite comprehensive, and it's something which is highly interactive, keeps on this is also something that keeps on evolving to make sure that it's more and more keeps on becoming more and more rich, and starts right from the basics, but takes you to a decent level even before the course starts in itself. Okay, then once that is done, then we start off the course with statistics of financial markets. In this, we look at how to visualize data, understand the basic statistics and probability concepts, the application of statistics using different models, and then the different portfolio theories which are there. So we start off with that, and then these are we call the statistics, Python, and the financial markets basics, or the quant trading basics, as the building blocks of algorithmic trading, right? So that's where the program starts from. So first we start off with the statistics, then we move on to the Python part. So Python basics and its quant ecosystems. So the idea is to understand the basics of programming, basics of Python, how the different operators and functions, the basic functions work. And then we start off with writing small Python functions to implement the strategy. Mind you, there are a good number of people who are in the financial markets, who are really, really bright and who have a very good understanding of the financial markets, but have not been a coder, right? So especially in the developing countries, because developing markets, because the algorithmic trading they have been late entrant to the algorithmic trading, and they were not required to know all these things, right? So they have been trading successfully using different trading methodologies without using the financial computing tools, or without using the statistics or programming part, right? So that's why we have this Python as a primer, as well as we start right from the basics to make sure that you start small and you get enough time to make sure that you do understand this language a bit, right? Before we move to the more advanced applications of the same. Interesting point here is also that Python. So we used to cover C++ and Java earlier, and it was really a nightmare for us as well as for many participants earlier to pick that language. Some people used to be able to pick that in the short period of time, but most of the people were not, because it's a much more complex language as compared to what we have now in R and Python. So Python, interestingly, also became the most prevalent language in the algorithmic trading or quant trading world in the last few years, and we also foresaw that change, and we also moved from C++, Java to more towards the Python and R, and we made sure that the curriculum gets updated timely so that it remains aligned with the industry requirement, as I said earlier. So that's something that always keeps on happening. Then once that is done, then we move towards more on the data analysis and modeling in Python. So how to go about the how go about backtesting a strategy in Python, how to go about learning various object-oriented programming concepts in Python, how to manage data, how to get the data using using the different APIs, how to analyze that data, how to use that data in your strategy, how to code your strategy, how to send out orders, all those things, and also the risk management aspects of it, and then including the financial time series into it using Python. So all these things get covered in the data analysis and modeling in Python module, and then it goes more towards the advanced statistics for quant strategies, so in which we cover more about advanced statistical methodologies related to, say, ARIMA, arch cards, or Gaussian mixture models. All those things gets covered at this point of time. So all these things go in a step-by-step manner to make sure that you are getting the prerequisites cleared for each advanced topic before it gets covered there, right? So that's something which is there. So all these things are more on the theory side as compared to the other topics which are more on the practical side. So more like, say, equity FX and futures strategies. So this we try covering different types of execution strategies, optimization, as well as your different kind of quant strategies, be it on the momentum or be it on the statistical arbitrage, or be it using exchange traded funds or using machine learning algorithms. All those different things gets covered in a hands-on manner in this module, where we have number of sessions totally dedicated towards different type of strategy modules, different types of strategy paradigms that get covered. Then we also move on towards your market microstructure, where we understand how the order book works, how the different type of orders can help you in improving the performance of your strategy, the understanding the, say, Markov model, and understanding the market microstructure theory implementation on your trading strategies. Right, so all those things gets covered in your market microstructure part. And then we also have something on the trading and backtesting platforms, in which you learn about how to implement these things on different platforms. So there are a number of different platforms which gets covered in EPAT, including some offered by the brokers as well as some by the vendors, some offer in-house tools. So all those things do get covered, and you get access to how to put your strategy, create your strategy in action, in actual, on real data, and how to backtest them and how to go about implementing them using the different APIs in Python and other languages. Right, now, something that has been becoming more and more popular is called machine learning for trading. Right, all you guys, you must have heard a lot about how machine learning is changing the way different industries have been working, right from your Google search to the food delivery to your self-driven cars, all those things, and how AI and machine learning are changing the way these things work. And the same is happening in the financial markets as well. Okay, so the same is happening in financial markets as well. The different type of algorithms, be it on the supervised learning or be it on the unsupervised learning, or the different ways of logistic regression or lasso regression, all those things do get covered in this module. Interesting thing about machine learning is that we started off so when we started off with EPAT, machine learning was not that popular, definitely not in the financial markets that much. But over the time, it kept on making more and more impact into the financial markets, and so did it in EPAT. So right from one session to it increased to 2, 3, 4, all these years, these number of sessions has been constantly increasing on the machine learning side, and more in-depth understanding of various machine learning techniques, be it to predict the prices or be it to classify it the trends into different based on different input variables, how to classify it as whether it is in the uptrend or downtrend, whether the market is trending or whether the market is moving sideways. So all those things do get covered in the program. Then there is something called trading tech infra and operations. Now this is interesting one because a lot of people feel that I am a trader, my job is to create strategy, right? So if I create a strategy, that's about it. Why do I need to know about what is there behind the screen, or what is there behind the operation side of it, or the technology or infrastructure, what kind of infrastructure, co-location is needed or not, EPAT is needed or not, all those things. Why do I need to know about that? Now, the thing is that if I often take this example in a class as well, that if you want to become an amazing F1 car race driver or an amazing racing driver, in that case, if you are good at driving, that's good, but you need to know the internals of your machine, internals of your car as well, if you really want to succeed. If you don't, then you will get stuck. Howsoever how good however good driver you might be, but if you don't know about the internals of your machine, and if you are trying to accelerate a car at a speed which it's not optimized for, then you're going to lose, right? So this the same holds for the trading part as well. So strategy is a part of the thing, right? So a part of formulates a small part of the probability of success of your trading venture. Other things play a very significant role as well. So that's something that is also that also gets covered in the course. And then we have the options trading strategies, in which we cover the options markets, not the basics are covered in the primer, and here we try to cover more from the Greeks point of view, how to use them from the trading, from different trading strategies perspective, as well as from the risk management perspective. How to use Greeks for that, what are the different kind of strategies which can be created for the volatility based strategies, be it on the dispersion, or be it on the other wall arb or wall modeling. So all those things gets covered and in the option trading part. Then we also have something on the portfolio optimization and risk management. So this is quite important. So we try to cover both from the portfolio of stocks to portfolio of strategies as well, right? So all the different trade sizing criteria that you might have heard of, Kelly criteria or leverage space theorem, or all these things, they do get covered in this section, and this is closely intermingled with the risk management part as well. In the algorithmic trading, there is an additional risk which is there in a more significant way than the conventional trading, and that is of operational risk. So because machines do not have common sense, humans have common sense, but when you're asking a machine to automate things, then it's not really asking a machine to send the orders. It will have as much common sense as you put that into the machine while coding, right? So that's something which is quite important. And then we have the project. Then we also have the project work, which is there, in which you get an opportunity to do the project under the mentorship of the relevant domain expert, and that person also becomes your mentor to make sure that you are getting specialized knowledge of the domain as well. So you are getting good introduction and good conceptual understanding of all the things, but you want to deep dive into few interesting things that are of most interest to you, then you can pick that in the project work as well. To get the EPAT certificate of excellence, you need to go through the EPAT exam. So right now it happens online, but soon you will be having it in different parts of the world, across the global centers in 100 plus countries. You will be having proctored exam, in center exams, which will be having, so which would be more of verified certificates, which has been the demand of the various industry collaborators that we have, that we should have a verified certificate which can help them in making sure that this person has actually passed the exam in this manner. So in a genuine manner. So that's something which is on the roads and will be coming up soon, mostly with for with your batch itself, for those of you who go ahead and join. And so all these things are there, in which you get the EPAT, and you get the EPAT certificate once you complete all these things, all these modules. So it's altogether, it's close to 100 plus hours, close to 110, 115 hours of classroom connect, which is there. And then the overall coursework is approximately 300 hours or so a bit little more than 300 hours, which we suggest to spread over the 6 months of the course duration. And yeah, and most of the things are kept hands-on in the most in the best way possible. So that has been there. And now, as I has been talking about the different the faculties who are practitioners themselves, who have been, so all these things gets delivered by this group of faculty members, in which you will see a lot of successful practitioners, the faces from all across the globe, people with very distinguished background and academic pedigree, and active contributors. While you can find the complete information about each one of them on our website, but I can briefly tell you that some of these guys are pretty interesting in terms of the things that they have been doing or what they have done in the past. Say, for example, Anil has been on the investment advisory side and focuses on scalable low frequency strategies. Brian is a complete is the founder of Black Ops, and which is a quantitative research firm based out of US. Then Dr. Ernie Chan, so he's quite a well-known face in the algorithmic trading industry. He has written multiple books published by Willie on this topic. They're kind of bestsellers, and he runs his own fund based out of Canada, which has been included as one of the top performers in the recent last few years. Then Eric Hammer, who is the co-founder and CTO of QuantInsti, one of the great names into the people who are offering those tools that I was mentioning, that different tools which are giving access to the individuals a much better market access in terms of the tools, and in terms of the analysis that they can do using that. Right. So then Gaurav manages a hedge fund and is also the co-founder of iRage. Dr. Huiliu is the founder of Running River Investment based in US, and he is also the creator of iBridge PY API in Python. Ishan has in the past has worked on the leading banks like Barclays, and leads on the works on the contra side of business at our end. Then this is me. You have already heard a bit about me. Nitin is a seasoned quant with rich experience. He was the lead option market maker in one of the biggest HFT desks in the region. Pradipto is a rocket scientist who turned into a banker, who turned into a trader at one of the at Deutsche Bank in Mumbai and London. Has served in various roles and is now leading the Contra Blue Shift. Rajiv is the CEO of iRage, one of the co-founders, and is one of the you can say the top option traders as well, where not just in the current role, but even in the previously, he has worked with firms like Optiver in Europe almost a decade back, and he's also a pretty brainy kind of guy. He has represented India thrice in World Puzzle Championship. Then you have Varun, who has been a highly successful trader in the last decade and is currently the lead for quant research and development. Then you have Vivek, who comes with a very rich academic industry experience in Singapore, Canada, and India. And interesting trivia is that he is also the statistics topper for one of the actuarial tests in India. So that's there. And Dr. Eve Hilpish, who has the founder and the managing partner of the Python Cons based out of Germany. So all these guys, and then we also have a lot of guest lecturers and some other faculty members as well, who keeps on taking sessions as the leading industry experts and adds a lot of value to our participants and alumni. Then there's something on the career cell. So this is, as I was saying, that career cell is not just about the placement, but it is definitely includes placement. And in placement, while we do have placement partnership with close to 100 companies in different countries, including India, Singapore, US, but we also help all our participants and alumni in right from the CV preparation to interview preparation to um, figuring out what the skill gaps are and helping them in filling those gaps. So all those things does get covered in the placement side. Then you have and in the placement partners, we do have some of the biggest brokers and some of the biggest investment banks and high frequency trading desks across the globe who are the placement partners with QuantInsti. Then you also have access to brokers, to data, to API. So all those things you get privileged access as well with some of the brokers. Privileged not in terms of having any latency benefit, unfortunately not, but but privileged in terms of the brokerage that you might have to pay. You can with some of the brokers you get as a EPATian you get to have trading for free. So basically no brokerage charged with some of the data providers or the API providers. You get the APIs for free for a limited period of some period of time, 3 months, 6 months, or whenever you are ramping it up for the period. And that really helps in our participants in that. And then we also, the career cell also assist in desk setup. If you're trying to set up your own desk, then they will be happy to connect you with the relevant people as well as guide you on how to go about it, given that there is a rich experience in the faculty, which can be really helpful for the guys who want to set up their own desk, right, or their own trading. This is the geographical distribution of EPAT alumni. So this is almost in most parts of the world, Antarctica and Greenland excluded. But apart from that, almost you'll find whichever country you are from. I believe in today's webinar, I guess there are people from more than 60 countries today. So these are all these EPAT participants and alumni. You would be able to connect or find some EPAT alumni somewhere in your country. But obviously, countries are big. But we do provide community tools which can help bridge that distance, right? Then these are some of the benefits that EPATians get. So exclusive events and sessions for EPATians. So in exclusive session, these are the sessions that we conduct just for EPATians. So say for example, um, if I take the example from the last couple of months, there has been an exclusive session on contra blue shift just for the EPATians. There has been an exclusive session on how to prepare your CV, a CV workshop taken by one of the lead recruiters of CME Group, who took our participants through the different ways of how to make sure that they are preparing the right kind of CV for the right kind of profile. So all these different sessions keeps on happening. Next week we have another session by the co-founder and CTO of one of the leading brokerage house, who will be taking them through the with different the concepts of how to go about live using different tools and APIs into the market. So all these things keeps on coming and are quite a rich value add for all our EPATians. So which includes both the participants and the alumni. Then we also have given the recognition that EPAT has been getting, which means that EPATians do get free and subsidized access to brokers and APIs. There are a number of brokers, some of the biggest names in the brokerage industry also in different parts of the world, who give subsidized access or at times even free access to their brokerage platform, as well as they also give APIs or market data at a minimal cost or at zero cost. So to the EPAT participants, because they do value that these are the guys who actually knows how to use these things and can be a good value add for them as well. So that's a good thing to be acknowledged like that for all our participants. Then we also get access to advanced backtesting tools. So I mentioned about Contra Blueshirt, which is one of the latest Python-based backtesting simulators that we have created. That's something which EPATians get have got the exclusive access to that. It does include even the minute level data access on the platform for Indian markets, for NSE, for like daily as well as minute level for more than I think 1.5 years, as well as for NYSE stocks, for S&P 500 stocks, you get more than 10 years of minute level data to backtest your strategies on. So all these things are there. This is just one example. There are other tools as well which get a preferred for which EPATians get a preferred access for. Then you have continued learning, as I mentioned, that lifelong access to the most updated content, and then the career assistance to participants and alumni. So all these things does help. And for those who are from based in Singapore, or Singaporeans or local permanent residents or locals or the permanent residents of Singapore. So EPAT is also recognized by Institute of Banking and Finance under its FTS Financial Training Schemes program. So IBF is the National Accreditation and Certification Agency of Singapore. So it's also so you can get benefits from the Singapore government also if you are a EPAT alumni, given the recognition, given it's a recognized program. So that's quite helpful, and that really makes it the journey for EPATians even after the course much more worthwhile, with all these benefits that we have. And not just that, we also get different alumni reunions that we do. So last couple of days back we had we had an alumni reunion in London. A month back, a month or 1.5 months back, we had one in Hong Kong. So in different parts of the world, we do keep on making sure that there is some alumni reunion happening, which helps in networking, and also given that one of the faculty members is also present, so gives them an opportunity to interact face to face, and also have get the guidance in the right manner. So all in all these things, what it means is that it is essentially more than a certificate. So this was a line which was used by one of our alumni from Hong Kong, that it's more than a certificate. EPAT has added a fundamental quantitative dimension to my existing skill sets. So that's there, and that is quite helpful, because that's what we are trying to do here, to make sure that it's not just the course, yes, it's a significant part of it, but the overall development and the overall nurturing of each and every EPAT alumni and participant that happens. And that's the whole idea about it. So that would be it from my side. I will be taking up the questions now. So if you have any questions about the program, about algorithmic trading, or anything, I will be happy to address that to you now. So please do share the questions here before we close it. So there was a question that what is the success ratio of strategies you teach? Again, success ratio of strategies, this is quite slightly of not a uniform. You will not find a uniform answer to that, because the thing is that what might work for you might not work for me. Every strategy would behave differently for different people, given what kind of access they do have, what kind of infrastructure technology do they have, what kind of markets they are trading in, what kind of risk management or risk appetite those people have, the different individuals have. So it varies a lot. Again, to clarify, EPAT is not about handing out working strategies that, okay, here's the strategy, this will work for you and you'll make a lot of money, or you will get rich soon. It's not a get rich soon program. It's not. It's more about learning how to create those kind of strategies, where enabling you to create those strategies, think like a quant, and come up with different strategy ideas, different implementation ideas, how to go about optimizing your strategies, how to model those strategies, how to implement those strategies, how to come up with new hypotheses and validate those hypotheses. All these things do get covered a lot in EPAT. So that is definitely there. Okay. Then you have another question. Can a technical analyst using strategies like MACD crossovers, moving averages, RSI, etc., automate his trading after studying EPAT? Do we cover how to do the automation for all these kind of strategies while you're studying EPAT? Yes, you can. So that's there. Um, then you have what sort of investment is required for starting own algo trading desk. So Nilesh, that would depend on what kind of desk you're talking, what kind of desk you're talking about. If you're talking about a low frequency prop desk, so where you are just pulling in your own capital for a low frequency set of strategies, in that case it won't be quite high. It would be minimal in that case. But if you are talking about high frequency, then it would be quite costly. So it can range from quite obnoxious number, which would be obnoxious for the individual traders. In EPAT, we focus more on the low frequency and the medium frequency ways of trading, but most of the faculties do have a very rich experience on the high frequency trading side. Some of them are running some of the leading firms in the high frequency trading domain, so that's there. So we do cover some aspects of it, but more focus is given to low frequency and medium frequency. So like where you are not running after each and every microsecond to save each and every microsecond of latency. So that's there. So a few milliseconds or a few 100 milliseconds of latency, if your strategy can live with that, then those kind of strategies generally will put under the low frequency domain, and those kind of strategies do get covered in EPAT. So yeah, so it does cover different kind of strategies, but more focus on low and medium frequency. Okay. Is the trading course completely based on Python? No. So we do have over here, if you look at it, so we do have Excel, which is where we start from, just to make sure that like most people are more familiar with Excel. So that's the reason why we start with Excel for various statistical tests and statistical concepts. But then we move to Python. Primarily Python is used, yes, but we also cover R and MATLAB. So R is a optional session, so optional module, so which is not necessarily a part of the final exam, but it is covered. So if those who are interested, they can definitely learn about that. There are a few sessions in R, and then we also have the momentum strategies that is covered using MATLAB. So that is to give people exposure to MATLAB as well, and you also get access to the MATLAB primer. So that's there. What I want to start my own desk, how it will help. So Dr. Mishra, I believe that you are looking to set up your own desk on the, whether it be on the low or high or medium. As I said, that there is a full amount of guidance which is given. We won't be giving you consulting. We won't be setting it up ourselves for you, but we will be thoroughly guiding you how to go about setting it up, and we have done that. So I myself have a very rich experience in setting up various desks, and the desks which has become very profitable and popular as well. So that ways, yes, we do give you guidance, me or other faculty members as well, and the career cell make sure that you do get that. But yeah, do not give consulting if that's the question. Guidance, yes, as an EPAT alumni, you do get that guidance by default. Sansad, yes, Sansad, as I said, that R is there. Do you need to have programming skills? While doing the program, you will need programming skills, yes. So that's why we have the primer module, in which you get a pretty comprehensive or basic overview of the Python programming. So that is given to you before the program starts, and given the but in case if you are not too sure, then we give you the references to go through that, to the programming concepts, because you cannot, if someone is telling you that you can become a quant trader without knowing programming, there's a high probability that the person does not know what quant trading is in that case, because quant trading does need you to know a bit about programming and need to have some programming skills and conceptual level clarity. And in the program, we do take it to a decent extent to make sure that you would be able to create strategies and work on different modules in all these programming languages. How many students get placement who opt for job for fresh in this domain? Is there any guarantee to get a job? We do not give any guarantee because we are not running a entrance test or anything like that. We do give counseling on before you join the program. So we do know a bit and try to make sure that you do have some idea about algo trading before you enroll for EPAT program. But we do not have that much understanding to actually give a guarantee. And to be honest, none of the universities or any of the courses offer genuine placement guarantees. So that's not there. But do we get our students placed? Yes, a lot. So quite a bit. So for among the people who are actively looking for job or switches or new jobs or job changes, we do help them, and we have been able to assist a vast majority of them. So yes, there are a lot of placement opportunities which keeps on getting shared. As I said, that we have close to 100 placement partners, and they appreciate the knowledge and the value that EPAT alumni and EPAT participants brings to the table, given that this is a niche domain and most people don't have that much idea. And this is a practitioner-oriented course, which means that most of the things that you learn, and if you learn it right, then you would be able to implement those things in your work life as well, in your job or in your business or in your trading. And that's something which is highly respected by all these firms, and that really helps. Is the course classroom web based? It's completely online. We do have a classroom in Mumbai, but as I mentioned, that all these faculty members, they are not based in Mumbai. A lot of them are not based in Mumbai. They are in different parts of the world, and in US, Canada, Singapore, or Europe, all over actually in Asia. So which means that even if you're coming to the classroom, you might be doing it on the remote. So yeah, so it's essentially it's an online program. So live webinar. So all the sessions that are conducted, they do get recorded and they do get uploaded on the learning management system within 24 to 48 hours of the session happening, and you get the complete access to it, and not just the access for the duration of the course, but later on also you get the lifetime access to all those sessions on our learning management system with the most updated content. What is the time commitment required? As I said, that is close to 300 plus hours. That would be the coursework. So generally, I suggest that instead of going for the completely weekends only learning mode, generally it's a good idea to spread it out over the week and weekends. Obviously, the classes are only happening on the weekend, which means that you will be having 6 hours of classes every weekend, 3 hours each on Saturday and Sunday. So if you take those classroom contact out, and then you are left with about 200 hours. If you spread it over 3 months, that requires about close to 1 hour every day. And it's possible. It's definitely possible, despite all the work commitments and family commitments which most of our participants have. The key is to make sure that you're regular. If you're giving some time on a daily basis, you will be in the flow, and it would be really, it's highly advised that you do that. Does it require daily study? Okay, the next question was, does it require daily study or weekend study is possible? I think Anirudh, I answered that question. Will I be able to trade on different frequency domains? You will definitely get the understanding and knowledge about how to do that. So yes. Is this information session being recorded or reviewed? Yes, the webinar part of this session is recorded and will be shared with you all. How do you differentiate EPAT with other courses online? All right, so EPAT is highly focused towards algorithmic trading and quantitative trading, the trading aspect of it from the practitioner point of view, from the real life scenarios. Now, the idea is that there would be lot of courses which focus a lot of quant finance concepts and a lot of theory behind it. Do we cover that a bit? Yes, but we try to cover only those aspects which are practically implementable or which are actively implemented by different kind of firms, and both high frequency as well as in the low frequency quant domain. So it's done more from the practitioner point of view, from the implementation point of view. So that's the key difference. And it's, as I said, that it's not just the about the about the about the course content. Also the content is there, but all these things, these are some of these things are quite exclusive and are only offered by QuantInsti. We have a penchant for making sure that we do add value, and we keep on trying our best to make sure that we do for each and every participant of ours through all these different mediums and different channels that we have. And that's something that we are generally proud of, and we do try to make sure that we do that. How much is the fees? I believe for this batch the fees is one for depending on which whether you are in the developed market, then it's 4,720 US dollars. If you are in India, it's 189,000 plus GST. So that's there. You can find this information on our website as well. The fees, but this is for this batch. For the batch 40 onwards, that would be increasing a bit, given that a lot of new additions that we have done in the past. But we have held back the fee rise for this coming batch, but has postponed it to the next batch to make sure that everyone does get a opportunity to those who are interested before the rise happens. To implement strategies, any specific platform brokers API would be required. Yes, if you're a retail trader or if you're an individual trader, you don't have your own membership with the exchange, or you don't have your own trading platform. In that case, you'll need some platform or broker who can offer you API for coding the strategies. So yes, that's something which is there. That you will need, and we do cover a few APIs as part of the course, and also in the various guest sessions which keeps on happening. We do try to cover the APIs which are offered by different brokers and platform providers. Okay. I do not, as I live in Hong Kong, may I ask, is there ample career assistance for a bachelor graduate student in Hong Kong? So Jackie, we do have some placement partnerships in Hong Kong as well, and we have placed some people, some of our EPAT participants and alumni in Hong Kong. So yes, we do, but as I said, that we do not offer any placement guarantee as such. And to be honest, we have a much stronger footprint right now in terms of placements in India and also now in Singapore, and next we are increasingly getting more and more traction, and within the next few months a lot of traction is expected from US, UK, Hong Kong, and the Western Europe countries. So that's something that our team has been actively working on, and the results have been pretty interesting. So yes, so you can expect that. And in addition, we have also been working on the opportunities which can be worked on in a remote fashion. So given that most of our alumni and participants, they are all working professionals themselves, and are based in different parts of the world. So we are in the process of partnering with some of the firms who some of the sizable firms who can offer such kind of opportunities, to make sure that both part-time as well as full-time kind of opportunities are made available to to our participants and alumni, and which can be done on remote as well, and not requires you to be present in that particular location or country. So that's something that we are working on that. How many hours of learning required per day? I'm working professional with very little knowledge of trading. If you understand that it's very little knowledge of trading, then I would suggest that it can be slightly higher than this. But I believe if you do put in regular efforts, then 1 to 2 hours a day should be good enough, if you can give that on a regular basis. If you pick up things faster, then probably 1 hour is also good enough on a daily basis. On weekends, obviously, you'll be required to put more, given the sessions itself are for 3 hours each day, right? Do you also cover positional trade swings? Yes, we do cover all kinds of trading strategy paradigms, momentum or statistical arbitrage or options or machine learning based trading strategies, Greek based trading strategies for options. All those things are there. Also, do I have to go for entire EPAT or break it down? So, so EPAT is, as you can see over here, it's quite well knitted. It's a lot of these modules are interdependent on each other. EPAT has seen a huge amount of pedagogy research over the years, which has gone into making sure that things are aligned in the right manner and are covered in a appropriate way to make sure that you get the information is presented in a way that can be inculcated best by the participants. So no, so you cannot have that modular access. It's complete access. So that's there. And given that it's not just, as I mentioned, it's not just about the course. A lot of other things which are there. So yeah, so it's comprehensive access. I am .NET Pro, a developer. Algo trading is totally new for me. Can I get job in the same? Actually, I have very little information with that, so I cannot comment on that. But have people with the pure tech background in the past have got entry into the algo trading domain? Different kind of profiles which are there in the algo trading. Yes, they have. So that's definitely there. We do have specific cases in which they have been able to get the job or get the opportunities in this domain despite having no prior experience in the financial markets, but pure tech background. Now that's the beauty of algorithmic trading, that it does value your statistical know-how, your programming skills, technology skills, and your trading skills. So that's there, right? Is there any chance you can suggest any student who has already joined EPAT program for UK? It will be helpful. Yeah, sure, Sayed. You can always get in touch with the with the with our business development team, and they will definitely be helpful to you. Okay. I hope there are a lot of questions about the price of EPAT course. I believe I have answered that, and it's also available on the website. So yeah, so that's there. What, according to you, an individual trader should look for after finishing EPAT? Own trading desk or join a big firm? Which is more practical? Oh, we have immense number of cases where people have jumped into their individual trading as well as jumped into good profiles into the jobs and different jobs, as well as people who have started their own ventures on the trading side or something ancillary to the trading and made it big. So there are all kind of examples that we have. So all these three things are practical. So I would not say that anything is more practical than the other one. What are the opportunities for a software developer with 3 years experience who is looking for a switch to algo trading field as a quant researcher, analyst, developer? So there are a number of opportunities which you can go for, whether it be on the algo developer side or the strategy coder as well as strategy developer. And if you get the skills right, then you can definitely look out for the trading strategist or the trader or analyst profiles as well. So whichever is of interest to you. I'm potentially interested in career transition, being a middle-aged software engineer by profession and being a self-taught retail statistical options trader. Uh, okay, is this feasible goal, or would EPAT help me with such a goal? So goal being 6,000 executions over the last 3 years, cumulative returns 103%, Sharpe ratio 1.1. I think if these are the returns that you have mentioned, they are real trading results, then I believe that you should be looking at it with more seriousness. So yes, if you are middle-aged software engineer, that means that you're good on the if you're good on the programming side and you have been trading and giving out exceptional results. In that case, I believe there can be a career opportunity. That's my sense. What level of statistics required in this program? You need to know the basics of statistics. You will be given the primers for that to make sure that you do reach to a certain extent where you do understand what regression is and what correlation is and all those things. And then in the program, we'll be doing moving on to the more advanced level from the basic level in statistics. Is automated trading strategy really can make money from prop desk? Oh, okay, Subashi. So, I'm assuming you are from India, and in India, you have already have close to 50% of the F&O volume, future and option volume, happening through the algorithms, through the prop. When most of these guys are prop desks, and yes, they do make money. Otherwise, they won't be in business. So automated trading does account for close to 50% of the overall volumes. So that would not happen if they can't make money. Uh, okay, what are the resources available at Mumbai office? Mumbai office is the office, so we do have a classroom though, but there is some teaching apparatus and all those things which you will find. I don't know if you are looking for any other tools. You can let the team know, and they will definitely get back to you on that. Uh, what is the difference between EPAT and some other program offered by someone? So I'm not taking the name here, but Prakash, what you have is that EPAT. I think, as I mentioned, that it's a practice-oriented program. The people who are teaching it, most of them are working practitioners, successful practitioners in the markets in different parts of the world. So that brings in a very different kind of perspective to the table. So it's really helpful. Most of our participants do find it very helpful, and they do learn about it. And then there are a lot of things which are so it's not institutionalized, it's more of personalized. Okay, so you, when you join the program, you're assigned a support manager who remains with you for the throughout the course program, and when you become an alumni, you are well connected with the alumni cell as well as the career cell. What is your advice for novice trading person about the start in the market? So depends how you define novice. So if you're just starting off, in that case, I would suggest to read a bit more. You can go through a number of blogs. We have close to, I think, 300, 400 blogs which are out there, and a lot of them are quite informative. So you can go through them. We have a YouTube channel on which you can see a lot of webinars, past webinars that we have done, quite informative. And then number of courses which we offer, which are there. So you can go through them, and that will help you in getting the perspective, and then you can make a choice on whether this is something that you would like to go ahead with as a serious career choice. Or you can also speak to any one of our representatives, and they will be happy to counsel you in more details. Can you please share some of the successful practitioners trained by QuantInsti in the recent times in India with their contact? I think, Nagesh, you can connect with the business team here. Does MCX allow algo trading? Yes, MCX does allow algo trading, and you can even find the algo trading volume percentage on their website, I believe. So that's there. I think in the most liquid contracts, somewhere between 20 to 35% of the volumes happens through algo only. So yes, MCX does offer that. Then does the course tackle crypto markets? Not really. Crypto, we are still deliberating the regulations and the compliance around it. So we do not cover actively anything in the on the crypto domain. But if you have access to the crypto markets, and if you are a crypto trader, you might find a lot of things that we cover, especially from the equity FX and futures perspective. All those strategies can be very much useful in the crypto side as well. And I believe some of the trading destinations are even coming up with the crypto options. So then the option module also becomes quite relevant. Okay. Um, I have arts background. Can I join the course? Raju, I think uh, if you can connect with the business development team, they will be able to help you better, as they will have more information during the conversation. What are the infrastructural requirements required for setting up own trading desk? So depends on what kind of desk you are talking about. As I said earlier, whether it's low frequency, medium frequency, or high frequency, we do cover the setting up part quite in details in the program as well. So how to go about it, what are the financial requirements, what are the regulatory requirements, what are the compliances, what are the process like in different parts of the world as well. So both in the developing markets as well as in developed markets. So all those things we do cover. But yeah, to answer your question, it will depend on what kind of desk you're talking about. So whether please my question on whether the institute has trained people from Nigeria or set up desk in Nigeria has been answered. So Omiza, I believe there are some EPAT alumni from alumni participants from Nigeria, yes, but you can get more information from the BD team here. Um, so yeah, so please do feel free to connect with them. They will be happy to help you. I do know a few of our EPAT alumni, including Dr. Panache and a few others who have done that in other parts of Africa, in Zimbabwe, as well as Jax, who has done it in South Africa. So all on the different African countries, yes. From Nigeria specifically, you can probably best would be to check with the business development team. Um, from where can we download the content? So we do offer a learning management system. So once you enroll, you get an access to the to a learning management system, LMS, where you will find all the presentations, all the tests, quizzes, assignments, as well as all the lecture recordings. Everything is provided to you on that platform. Uh, any mandatory classroom sessions? No, it's completely online. Do we need to have additional infrastructure for algo trading on laptop? Enough? Nathaniel, it will depend on what kind of trading you're doing. If it is low frequency, probably a high power, a good configuration laptop might work, but not for the medium or high frequency trading domain. That for that you'll need specialized servers. uh, how much salary can one expect as a fresher? Depends on your background, depends on your depends on the what kind of things you have done in the past, your academic pedigree, your how much skills do you have learned over the period of time. So all those things do play a factor within the. If I believe you're asking it from the Indian perspective. So in India, you can expect somewhere between, I don't know, if I have to take a rough guess, it would be 5 to 20 lakhs, or basically 500,000 to 2 million rupees per year as the salaries for the freshers. That's my guess. Okay. Uh, Classroom training in Chennai, as I said, that it's a completely online program. We do have a classroom in Mumbai, but it's exactly same as attending it online. So, so most of our participants, so even those who join from Mumbai, they end up attending it from their own location because it's far more convenient and they can avoid the commute. And it's exactly the same. We have integrated the classroom online fairly well, so that that's not be should not be a problem. Uh, Oh, Misa, I hope I have answered your question now. For backtesting, do you provide access after the class is finished? Harold, we do cover backtesting on different platforms. You will be getting access to the different platforms during the program itself. So you do not. So it's part of the program directly. So you get access to that, and you can backtest your strategies on those platforms. For most of the sessions, you would be able to do that. What level of automation can I expect to achieve from the program? Complete automation you can expect to learn about it, right? So that's there. You should be able to do that. It's obviously EPAT focuses on the knowledge aspect of it. It does not focuses on your what do you say on the live trading or taking it live. So we do cover those aspects, but idea is to ensure that you are getting enabled to do that rather than someone else doing it for you. What is the opportunity of getting placed in USA, being already in India brokerage industry for past 4 years as advisor in leading broking house? Krishna, as I mentioned, that it will be depending on your own on the background and the skills, and like you mentioned that you have been there for the past 4 years. So what kind of role it has been in the brokerage industry, and what is the requirement? If such requirements do come into US, and they are looking to uh, hire from outside of US, then yes, there can be opportunities. But as I mentioned, that we are also working on pretty strong and lucrative opportunities which can come through online or remote channels as well. So that's something that we are closely working on, and yeah, we'll be keeping you posted on that. Okay. Can this course be self-paced? No, it's instructor-led training, which means that the classes will be happening on a weekly basis. So it's not exactly a self-paced, but in case if you get missed out on some lectures because of whatever reasons, then you do get access to the recordings and you can revisit them or you can check that out at a later stage. So that's definitely there. So in case if you feel that okay, you have gone through it once, but you want to go through it again, you would be able to do that. So that's not a problem. But yeah, we do recommend a certain pace. It is highly flexible, yes, but that's there. Nathaniel, if you can check with the business development team, they handle that, the admissions team. They would be able to help you with that. So basically, business development and admissions team. Okay. Great. So I think I have been able to cover most of the questions. My apologies if I missed out on any questions. We would definitely reach out back to you in case if any of the questions are not answered. But if there are any other questions, I'll be happy to take. So yeah, how many trainer are based in India? I think probably half of them, maybe, or maybe 40%. I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. Uh, so yes, it's a good mix. So you have from a couple of trainers from Singapore, a few from US, one from Canada, and then you have couple from from Europe as well, and rest are from India. So I would guess 50%. Okay. I hope that answers the question, Amol. Great. Any other questions? Great. So thank you so much, guys. I'm really okay. There's one last question which has come in, so I'll take this up. Do you have any broker or institution working in this program? Maybe this is an opportunity to expand market in UK. Just say yes or no. Yes, we do have brokers who are based out of UK. So yeah, to answer your question. Okay. Uh, all right. So thank you so much, guys. If there are any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us, to any of our team members or the sales team member or the admissions team, and they would be happy to help you on this. And yeah, I hope I have been able to address all the queries related to EPAT and how it can help you in your career and learning objectives. If there's anything else that we can help you with, please do let us know. We would be happy to do that. All right. Thank you very much, all you guys. Thanks a lot. You have been a great audience and a very interesting questions that you have thrown. Thanks for that. And have a great day ahead. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.